The most dangerous person in any confrontation isn't the loudest or strongest, it's the calmest. Miyamoto Musashi understood this paradox and developed a systematic approach to emotional control that his opponents couldn't counter. This method helped him win 60 consecutive duels to the death. His four-step framework for maintaining calm works in any modern conflict, and it begins with a principle most people never consider: emotional distance. When someone yells at you or challenges you, your body immediately floods with stress hormones. Your heart beats faster, your muscles tighten, your thinking narrows. This is the trap most people fall into during confrontation. Musashi discovered that the key to winning wasn't better sword skills. It was stepping outside this emotional storm. In his writings, he described watching confrontation as if from above, like seeing clouds pass by without becoming the storm. Think about the last time someone made you angry. In that moment, you became your anger. Your words, actions, and thoughts all serve the emotion, not your true goals. This is exactly what Musashi's opponents did. They became their anger, fear, or pride. Emotional distance means creating space between what happens and how you react. When someone insults you, instead of immediately firing back, you notice the feeling rising inside you. I'm feeling anger now, you think. Not I am angry. This small shift makes all the difference. Musashi practiced this by facing increasingly dangerous situations while maintaining this mental position. In his most famous duel against Sasaki Kojiro, his opponent arrived angry and impatient. Musashi deliberately arrived late, further frustrating Kojiro. While Kojiro became his anger, Musashi remained separate from his emotions, seeing the confrontation clearly. To develop this skill, start with a simple practice. When you feel strong emotions during any conflict, even small ones, say to yourself, I notice I'm feeling anger. This creates tiny space between you and the feeling. With practice, this space grows. Modern research confirms Musashi's insight. Brain scans show that people who label emotions activate their prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part of the brain, which calms the emotional centers. This is why therapists teach patients to name feelings during stress. But emotional distance alone isn't enough. Once you've created this space, you need to know what's coming next in the confrontation. This brings us to Musashi's second principle, anticipatory awareness. Musashi called this foreknowledge, the ability to sense what's coming before it happens. In his book, The Book of Five Rings, he wrote about knowing your opponent's moves before they did. This isn't about mind reading. It's about understanding human patterns. When someone gets angry, they follow predictable paths. When someone feels threatened, their options narrow to just a few likely responses. Musashi studied these patterns obsessively. Think about how a skilled chess player sees 5 moves ahead. They don't guess. They recognize patterns and likely responses. Musashi applied this same thinking to human behavior during conflict. Our bodies react differently to sudden stress versus expected stress. When a confrontation catches you by surprise, your body dumps stress hormones all at once, creating that overwhelming fight-or-flight feeling. But when you anticipate a challenge, your brain prepares more carefully, releasing smaller amounts of stress hormones that sharpen focus without clouding judgment. In Musashi's most challenging duels, he would study his opponents beforehand. He'd learn their favorite techniques, their temperament, even how they handled pressure. Before facing the aggressive Sasaki Kojiro, Musashi carved a wooden sword on his boat ride to the duel. He made it slightly longer than Kojiro's famous long sword, knowing this would give him just enough extra reach. You can develop this awareness with a simple practice. Before entering any potentially difficult conversation, take 30 seconds to ask yourself 3 questions. What is this person's likely emotional state? What do they really want from this interaction? What are the three most likely ways they might react? This works because you're training your brain to recognize patterns. A manager who criticizes everything will likely criticize your new proposal. 2. A friend who avoids conflict will probably change the subject when you bring up something sensitive. By anticipating these responses, you remove the emotional surprise. A modern example shows this principle in action. During high-stakes negotiations, experienced FBI hostage negotiators spend significant time profiling the person they're dealing with. They analyze past behaviors to predict reactions. This foreknowledge allows them to stay calm when others would panic, choosing words and tactics that diffuse rather than inflame tensions. Anticipatory awareness transforms confrontations from chaotic emotional exchanges into more predictable situations you can navigate skillfully. Yet, even with emotional distance and anticipation, Musashi recognized a third crucial element was needed to maintain complete calm under pressure. The third principle in Musashi's system is strategic breathing. Throughout his writings, Musashi emphasized that breath control was essential for maintaining clarity during combat. He observed that when swordsmen became afraid or angry, their breathing changed first, becoming shallow, rapid, and uneven. Musashi taught that mastering your breath meant mastering your mind. In his training methods, he dedicated specific exercises to breathing properly while executing sword techniques. Your breath directly connects to your emotional when you're calm. You breathe slowly and deeply. When you're scared or angry, your breathing becomes fast and shallow. But this connection works both ways. By deliberately changing how you breathe, you can change how you feel. This happens because of how your nervous system works. Fast, shallow breathing triggers your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response. Slow, deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. One creates panic, the other creates calm. Musashi developed a specific breathing pattern during confrontations. Before crucial moments in a duel, he would take a single, controlled breath, inhaling for 4 counts through his nose, holding briefly, then exhaling for 6 counts through his mouth. You can use this exact technique in modern confrontations. When tension rises in a meeting, during an argument, or before delivering difficult news, use this 4 to 6 breath pattern. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, then out through your mouth for 6 seconds. Even one cycle creates noticeable calm. Emotional distance gives you space from your reactions. Anticipatory awareness helps you prepare for what's coming. Strategic breathing gives you the physiological calm to think clearly. But the final principle brings everything together, giving purpose and direction to your newfound calm. The fourth principle in Musashi's approach is purposeful action. In his writings, Musashi stressed that having a clear purpose was more powerful than having strong emotions. While his opponents often fought from anger or fear, Musashi always fought with a specific objective in mind. This focus on purpose appears repeatedly in his famous text, The Book of Five Rings. He writes that a warrior should have no intention of striking first, but instead should remain centered on their ultimate goal. For Musashi, each movement, each decision served a larger purpose beyond just winning the immediate exchange. Having a defined purpose completely changes how confrontations unfold. When someone challenges you and you react emotionally, you're playing their game by their rules. But when you stay focused on your larger purpose, you control the direction of the interaction. Think about arguments that spiral out of control. They typically start with a specific issue, but quickly derail into bringing up past grievances, personal attacks, and hurt feelings. This happens because both people lose sight of any purpose beyond defending themselves or hurting the other person. A simple technique for maintaining purposeful focus comes directly from Musashi's approach. Before entering any potential confrontation, define your true objective in one clear sentence. Ask yourself, what outcome would actually serve my long-term goals here? Keep this purpose at the forefront of your mind throughout the interaction. When emotions rise and the confrontation heats up, silently repeat your purpose to yourself. This creates an anchor for your attention, preventing you from being swept away by momentary feelings. Your words and actions then align with this purpose, rather than with your immediate emotional reactions. Purposeful action doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. Rather, it means your emotions serve your purpose instead of your purpose being hijacked by your emotions. This is the culmination of Musashi's system. Emotional distance creates space. Anticipatory awareness provides foresight. Strategic breathing maintains calm, and purposeful action directs that calm toward meaningful outcomes. But what makes these four principles truly powerful is how they connect to something much deeper than just conflict management. These techniques reveal a fundamental truth about human nature that most never discover. These principles connect directly to the Buddhist concept of non-attachment. By creating emotional distance, you practice non-attachment to your reactive thoughts. Through anticipatory awareness, you transcend the narrow view of the present moment. With strategic breathing, you experience the impermanence of emotional states. And through purposeful action, you align with the Taoist idea of Wu Wei, effortless action that follows the natural way. What makes this approach especially relevant today is that we live in an era of constant confrontation. Social media algorithms push us toward conflict. Political systems thrive on division. Even personal relationships suffer from increased stress and decreased patience. Modern humans face more confrontations in a day than Musashi might have faced in a month. The greatest irony is that while we need emotional control more than ever, we practice it less than ever. People react instantly to provocations, sending angry texts, posting emotional comments, or escalating minor disagreements into relationship-ending fights. The person who maintains calm in this environment doesn't just win arguments. They access a level of clarity that others can't even comprehend. This power becomes evident when you watch someone truly skilled in emotional control handle a confrontation. They seem to operate on a different level, as if they can see and respond to things others miss completely. There's something else about mastering emotional control that few discuss. It reveals how many confrontations are actually unnecessary. When you stop responding automatically to provocations, you discover that many conflicts simply dissolve without your participation. The truly powerful person isn't the one who wins every confrontation, but the one who only engages in confrontations that actually matter.